you know someone who's experienced the utter misery of low back pain? Well, you're not alone. 80% of all human beings will at some point in their lives experience that kind of pain. And according to the International Association for the Study of Pain, 90% of this low back pain is nonspecific, which means we don't know the cause. And that means those treatments are going to be nonspecific. They won't treat the cause. I know all about that because starting at the end of my first pregnancy, I had 37 years of low back pain. At times I couldn't even get out of bed, and when I was walking, it felt like I was being stabbed with a knife with every step I took. As a doctor, I knew the side effects of all the pain medications, and that's why I tried to avoid them. Also, I knew they wouldn't address the cause. So I tried chiropractic manipulation, I tried physiotherapy, I tried massage, I tried meditation and mindfulness and self-hypnosis. None of this worked very well until I discovered how to find the cause. And once you know the cause, the treatment becomes obvious. I started testing it on my patients. It only takes 2 minutes. I followed 180 new low back pain patients. 78% of them got up from the 2-minute corrective exercise with little or no pain at all. So that's when I decided to tell the Canadian Pain Society about this. And I went to their meeting where they were presenting a woman who had 20 years of extreme low back pain and nothing was working. So I put up my hand and I said, "Did you check the level of her pelvic bones?" Silence. And then I told them about this study that I had done and how effective it was in removing low back pain, how anybody can do a 2-minute exercise and relieve their pain. They immediately shut me out of the Zoom, and the next day they emailed me that I was never to mention this again. That's when I decided to write my book. It's called Low Back Pain, 3 Steps to Relief in 2 Minutes. I went to a printer to get calling cards made so I could start advertising the book. And he looked at the title and he said, "Oh my God, I've had 6 years of awful low back pain." I said, "Oh, let's have a look at your back." And sure enough, his pelvic bones were displaced. I said, "Well, why don't you do this exercise?" So right then and there, in his shop, he did the 2-minute exercise. And when he got up from the exercise, he walked over to a chair, he sat down, he stood up again, then he smiled and he said, "This is the first time in 6 years that I've had absolutely no back pain." When I came to get the calling cards, he hands me the box. And I said, "Well, how much do I owe you?" And he said, "Do you know how much money you saved me in chiropractors and physiotherapist fees? This doesn't even begin to pay for it." You know, low back pain can afflict every part of our life. It can affect our ability to move, our ability to sleep, our mood, our goals, our relationships, and even our ability to work. Did you know that there is more absenteeism because of that than for any other reason? I'm Dr. Hélène Bertrand, and I would like to tell everyone how they can relieve their own low back pain, how they can rediscover the joy of a pain-free life. If you want to spread the message and help people relieve their misery, then I will be delighted to work with you.